Hello everybody, welcome back to my movie review series. Today we'll be discussing John Wick Chapter 4. Just got back from watching it. The first movie I've seen in the theaters in a month or so. Ooh, $12.50 for a matinee on Wednesday. And at Stone Ridge it was like $5, so I don't know, man. Everything's more expensive. I still live under the poverty level. I do not have constitutional rights, so might as well do another movie review. Oh, this is either going to be 99 or 100 of these. And just more another shooting looks like. But you know the typical thing for this one, I'll give you my overall impressions and grade. After that, if you've not watched the movie and would like to, based or not based on my recommendation or not recommendation, you're going to shut off the video because there will be spoiler alerts. We will discuss the plot synopsis and character development as best as I can remember it, and any similar movies, all the other John Wick movies, and any major themes. Maybe one or two minor major themes, probably like bulletproof suits. But regardless, I'll read you the overview as the writers or producers have written it, and then I will give you my overall impressions. So we have John Wick Chapter 4. It's labeled as an action/neo-noir. New Black? What does that mean? It has a runtime of 2 hours and 49 minutes. Here, the overview is this. With the price on his head ever increasing, legendary hitman John Wick takes his fight against the high table global as he seeks out the most powerful players in the underworld. From New York to Paris to Japan to Berlin. Budget of 100 Emmys. Starring, obviously, Keanu Reeves. 96% liked this on Google, 78% liked it on Metacritic, 94% of Rotten Tomatoes, 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Seems like the consensus of idiots seem to like movies like this movie pretty extensively. So what did I think of it? Obviously it's a very action movie, a lot of drawn out action sequences, which I do enjoy. But if they overdo it, like we did Safe House, which again just didn't really have much plot to it. I do like the John Wick character, a lot of action sequences, but overall I'll give it a B. I think I was gonna give it a B- or a C+, honestly. Just because the character's not too novel for me. It's a long drawn out action scenes where it's like the first John Wick 1 and 2, it's like, I've never seen this character before, you kill a dog and I'm gonna kill everybody in this hitman underground world. And again, like the presentation in the John Wick universe, there's 8 billion people and 6 billion of them are all highly trained assassins. So it's got a different tone to it, and again, you can't go into it looking for like realism or anything. But as a moviegoer, I don't need anything to be realistic, just something new in the writing, something novel, a character I really enjoy, whatever. So John Wick, the character wasn't super new. The action sequences were good, not super entertaining to me, but definitely not off-putting or just nothing. Mainly, I bumped it up from the C+, B- range to the flat B, which is solidly entertaining, based on the ending, which I won't give away until the plot synopsis. So if you've not watched the movie and liked it or want to, good action flick, different tone to it, being not super realistic in this John Wick universe world they're in, with all these hitmen. And certainly a lot of bodies on the extras. So that's what I thought overall. If you want to watch the movie and not, you're going to want to shut this video now. So you open up, John Wick is shooting, he's chasing down some dudes in like Saudi Arabia land. He kills a couple people on horseback and then approaches this guy who I believe is like an elder or something. And just they're in the middle of some desert somewhere. And he's like, the elder guy's like, if you kill me, it's not going to change anything. And you came all this way for nothing, and he's like, not for nothing, and then kills the guy. So that's kind of the opening scene. And again, at this point, I don't remember exactly where the John Wick 3 left off. I did see that one in theaters as well, but it's been a while, and so I'm not exactly sure like the plot development of where exactly that left off. But I think it was when again he's walking down this promenade, and there's just everybody on the every bench corner is an assassin. And so again, he's messed up the order of the hitman environment where you're not supposed to kill somebody on these hotels where all the hitmen stay on those grounds. And he's done that, so he's on the out. Everyone's trying to kill him. The manager of the hotel he was at is run by Winston. You have Sharon, who was the Lance Reddick who just passed away in real life. And so the next kind of scene after John Wick kills those dudes is you meet this French dude. And so the structure is they have the high table, which is this infinitely rich super heads of these assassin groups, and then you kind of have this like main French dude. His name isn't listed entirely on here, at least I can't find it. Or it's Marchese de, I forget, it's a French name, Bill Skarsgård's character. But regardless, this French dude, let's call him French dude, French guy comes up and basically condemns the Continental Hotel in New York, which is run by Winston, and Sharon Lance Reddick is the concierge. And so it gives them an hour. They have to clear out the entire hotel, and then they watch it getting blown up. And then Sharon gets killed by the French dude. And so I'm not so exactly sure why Sharon is killed as opposed to Winston. I forget what the line and the thing was, but basically Sharon's killed. Winston is disenfranchised from the entire. He's excommunicated from the assassin ring, and so he's not allowed to have any access into that world at all. And so that happens. Then you go back to John Wick is now in Japan, and he is getting at another big continental thing. And again, every country has this huge conglomerate of assassins, so they need massive structures. So again, all of the buildings are very big or very robust settings, and so it just gives an interesting tone to it. But again, just the characterization. This is part 4, so I thought it's not super novel anymore. But regardless, I don't know why he's friends with this dude, but it's Shimazu and his daughter Akira, and they run it. Shimazu is the manager, and Akira is the concierge, and so the French dude is running again. I forget what they call him, but he's not the table, but he's certainly above the other hitman people, and so basically he has a bunch of dudes storm in there. He has a main kind of enforcer dude. I can't pick him out. I think his name might just be Killa Scott Adkins, or maybe Chidi Marco Zaror. I just can't pick out the characters from the actor list. Regardless, he's hiding out in Japan. We're trying to meet up with this dude, so it's not sure why Shimazu is helping him when clearly it's going to cause him big trouble. I just probably forget the plot continuity from part 3 or whatever. Regardless, the French dude's crew rolls up with his main enforcer guy, and then basically they're like, John Wick's here, and he's like, no, they're not. That's a big egregious claim. And Shimazu tells, and the Japanese, they all have samurai swords and good with bows as well as with guns. And so basically he's tells his crew, Shimazu, the Japanese squad, we have guests prepared for hospitality, code for let's be ready for action. And so for whatever reason, Shimazu stands by saying, John Wick is not here, and then huge firefight. So they start firing at arrows. The main enforcer dude from the French dude catches one of the arrows, and the other one goes to the dude's neck, and then the fight's just on. So you have an extended fight scene. Probably even before then, I think you meet Kane, who is this Asian dude who's blind, as well as this dude named Tracker / Nobody. He introduces himself as Nobody in the movie. And so basically the French dude had summoned both Kane, has some leverage on Kane's daughter, and Kane is blind. So again, that was just kind of weird characterization. In this John Wick world, you can't think of a different characterization as opposed to a blind guy who's a really efficient hitman. I mean, come on. But regardless, Kane is this epic hitman when he can't see anything. So regardless, the French dude basically calls in Kane very, very early on in the movie. It's like, you have to kill John Wick. I'm not asking, or I'll kill you. And then he calls in Tracker / Nobody. But again, he's got some special way to find John Wick, or is just good at tracking. So he's got a dog with him. He gets stabbed in the hand, has pull his hand out of the knife to show that he's so he doesn't get killed. And he's with the French dude. But regardless, he's offering the French dude to pay him $20 million to give him how he found John Wick. And the French dude's like, no, you're gonna kill him, or I'm gonna kill you as well. So you have both Kane, Tracker / Nobody, and then in the French dude's whole army of people trying to kill John Wick, along with this general bounty on his head for any hitman out there that wants to catch the body. And so, point being is Kane is at the big shootout at the Continental in Japan, and they go back and forth, getting bodies everywhere, killing everybody. The Shimazu they basically there's just a big fight scene. The Shimazu, he dies. He gets killed by Kane in a sword fight. Akira, his daughter, gets injured, but she lives. And both her and John Wick, you see getting on like a train or a subway after the big fight scene, and then after that, Akira is no longer in the movie. So John Wick gets out of Japan. He lives. Shimazu dies. Big fight scene. 20-30 minute fight scene. And then John Wick basically enlists again. Winston wants to talk to John Wick. To basically, and after the Japan fight scene, he takes off like one of their little symbol things, and like, who's this guy? And so he figures out that the high table or this French dude's chasing him or whatever they call him in the movie, some position in the organization. But regardless, he meets up with John meets up with Winston, figures out what's going on, and he's like, I'm gonna kill him. And then Winston's like, you can't, like, you won't be able to do that. There's too many of them. And he's like, the one way you can stop this is challenging him to like a duel, like the old ways or the old rules. And so to do so, John needs to be a part of a family and have like a sponsor for the challenge for the role of whatever this French dude is doing. So he goes to Berlin, and I think he meets up with either Russians or Belarusians. I think it's Belarusians. But regardless, they kind of say, if you kill this guy, this big German dude, we'll sponsor you. We'll let you join our family, so you have the ability to make this formal challenge. And so he goes to this German dude. Another just extravagant nightclub scene in the back. This big hitman association. And so John is there. Kane is there, as well as Tracker / Nobody is there. And so both Kane and Tracker want to kill John Wick. John Wick wants to kill them all, I guess. And the German dude wants to kill him. Or wants to kill John. And so they play a game of 5-card poker. It gets rigged. The guy gets 5 of a kind, which is it is not even a hand in poker. But he gets the 5 of the kind. And then John cuts him with a knife, or with a card. Another huge fight scene. 20-30 minutes. You have at this point, I'm not sure if John Wick, Kane, and Tracker are working with each other. And it is important at the Japan shootout, Tracker / the Nobody character kind of saved John Wick, and it's not apparent as to why. Because he literally says something like, the bounty's 20 million and it's not enough. So it kind of lets him go. But it was just kind of getting strange to me as to why put that in there. But regardless, they did. So the Trackers let John live in Germany, and they're trying to kill this German dude. It's not really sure who's on whose side quite yet. And so regardless, they play the poker hand. Big fight scene starts. There are more bodies. John shoots the big chunky German dude in the ass. He tries to run away. They make it out onto the dance floor in this huge venue, and John falls down this I don't know, 3 stories. So John Wick can clearly take a lot of beatings, which again I'm not super against the unrealismness. It's just old to me. It's just trite. Didn't do much new for me. But regardless, big fight scene, ends up killing the German dude by throwing him off the balcony, and he crumbles and cracks his neck or spine or something. And he has gold front teeth, and John they're like a grill, and takes the grill off the dude as proof of death for these Belarusians in Germany. But the Germans had set up John Wick, but he's just he got the job done, so he goes back to them. He gets branded with his chick, Katya, and he is now in the ability. He's in a family. He needs a second sponsor for the challenge, which will be Winston. So Winston approaches the French dude and his main hitman or enforcer, and they're another big lavish French thing with huge paintings, and pretty much the rest of the movie at this point takes place in Paris. And so he drops off the formal challenge, and it gets accepted, but they go through this negotiation where they have to set the rules, what time, where, what weapons, and so they do that with the relegation or this oversight of this table dude, and so they set it up for sunrise the next day, and they're going to have dueling pistols, and so the dude Kane is going to be the guy that fights for the French dude. And yeah, that's basically it. But regardless, after they set the meetings, basically the French dude sends out a whole army of hitmen to try to take down John so he can't make it to the meeting. If you don't make it to the meeting, you and your sponsor get killed. And so another massive, some chick goes on the radio where it's this hitman radio, and the kind of in code tells them, where this guy's at, what's going on. And the bounty gets raised during this fight scene, huge fight scene for another 20, 30 minutes. And, bodies on bodies on bodies. But it goes from like 25 to 30 million up to like $40 million. And so, obviously fights on all of those dudes, and he's fighting to get to the church to make it to this meeting. And so you have the Bowery King, which was a well-known face to me. I didn't really recognize the name. But Lawrence Fishburne's character, he played, I think, a bigger role than the previous ones. But he brings John a gun and a suit, and basically drives him on this underwater canal as close to this church to the meeting place for the duel that he can get him. Huge fight scene, bunch of bodies. I think Tracker at this point does get a chance, like he has a sight on John after this big fight scene, and Kane holds a sword to his neck, basically saying like, John is mine. But regardless, he gets like the stairs of this church. Another big fight, so this whole continuous thing's pretty much a fight scene. But he fights off all these dudes, gets up to the top of the stairs, and then the French dude's main enforcer literally throws him down the stairs again. And so when he's rolling down all the stairs, that was pretty just like, come on, we've seen him roll down the stairs, get him to the bottom, or whatever. Because even if you accept the unrealism of just like 70,000 hitmen coming after one guy and kills all of them, just like you don't need to overdo it. Where you throw him down 4 stories or slam him into 15 cars. It's like you clearly break a bone or two. Even in the unrealistic, kind of violent environment this movie is written in. And so I thought rolling down the stairs was rather redundant. But I just didn't get it as to why Kane helps John at this point. As far as I'm aware, Kane's duty to the French dude is to kill John, and then he's fine with his daughter and himself. So I have no idea. But then Kane and John work together to get to the top of the stairs so they can shoot each other with pistols. To me, that made no sense. I don't know if I missed something, but that just made no sense as to why Kane would help John when he rolls down the stairs. They go back up the stairs, kill a bunch more people, and get to the duel. And so they have the oversight dude, they stand 30 paces away, 30 steps away, they shoot, they both get hit. They end up firing 3 times. The first 2 times, both John and Kane both hit each other, in the shoulder, in the side of the stomach, or in the leg or something. And then on the third one, they're 10 feet apart, and they both turn around, the mediator says fire, and Kane takes down John. And so basically the French dude takes Kane's gun, is going to finish off John Wick, and then John pulls out his gun, and Winston says, "You're stupid motherfucker," or something. He didn't fire. And so at which point John Wick blows off the French dude's head. So he's now dead, and John Wick and both Kane are seriously injured. Kane just kind of dips out. John looks like to Winston, "Can you take me home?" He's like, "Sure." And he kind of like collapses on the stairs, and then after having like a flashback to his wife that this whole thing set off because someone killed his dog, and he was a retired hitman, and he got back in the game after his wife died. And so he kind of collapses there, and then the final scene of the movie is Winston and Bowery King standing over John Wick's grave, and it says, "A loving husband," and that's what he wanted on his gravestone before the duel. So the reason I bumped it up from the C+ to the B-, from the B- to the B to the entertaining, was that actually John Wick dies at the end. And so I thought it would be a natural end to the series. Again, the character is pretty old for me. I don't mind the action sequence, but it's just, again, after doing 99 or 100 movie reviews and television reviews, and again, watching hundreds of movies before I even started doing this thing, it's just like long, drawn-out action scenes without any sort of plot nuance or any characterization, which just makes me think, makes me have some sort of different reaction. I've just seen it 100 times. And so overall, certainly entertaining, rather long movie, but I think the good character development of having John Wick die was actually good. So I'm assuming this is going to be the natural end of this series. Who knows, in movie land. But regardless, again, major themes, similar movies, other John Wick movies. The directors of this one has another one coming out that seems very similar about like killing Nazis in World War II. But so I'm sure that's going to be another just carnage of bodies. But major themes, just the bulletproof suits. And obviously the violence isn't super realistic, but it's just like how in real life, how efficient and effective are actually bulletproof suits. There's a lot of scenes in the thing, John just like throws up a suit jacket and just like deflects all the bullets or whatever. So overall entertaining. I thought it was a good development that John actually dies in this one. And that's what I got to say for John Wick Chapter 4. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.